Frederick. This thing's screaming in your face.
Yeah, it's a bit loud, ain't it?
It's got a killer case of halitosis as well. I need to add that in there too.
Okay, so we're gonna back away from it now. I'm gonna start taking some steps backwards and assume the other three behind me are going to as well.
As you take a step back, it takes a step forward, matching your pace.
I want to shine with a torch.
It hisses, but it's as soon as you take a step, it seems to be responding to sound. It takes a step forward, but it's got the hands in front of its eyes, protecting its eyes.
Okay.
At this point, would you like to use a tactic?
Yes, please.
Lure, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's leading it? So who's risking the willpower?
What's the...
Wit's composure.
Wit's composure.
My dice pool is...
I can do that.
Composure is 6.
Edward,
but maybe yours is better, you should...
Edward offered up first, so go ahead and give me Wit's composure. This thing is going to... Wit's...
risking willpower, right?
Yes, you're risking it here.
We do the helper rolls, then he does the final roll, no? Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, because everybody that's helping adds bonus die to him.
Yeah, so we do this first. We have presence, persuasion, manipulation, occult.
Well, I assume I will be a quote-unquote bait here, because it's already in front of me yelling at me, and I mean, that's my dice pool anyway, so I'm going to try to draw back.
Okay.
As we keep it following this kind of deal.
Alright, go ahead and give me your roll.
I'm going to try the manipulation and occult.
Drawing it in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's +2.
Alright.
3, 6. So that's 5 extra die.
So 5...
Yep, 5 extra die.
Yeah.
I'm going to expend my...
Inspired.
So...
Now, you did risk willpower, so... Let me remind you what risking willpower it does, because risking willpower to perform a tactic, the primary must risk a willpower on its outcome. So page 135. Risking willpower, blah blah blah. A hunter can risk 1 willpower per scene in the pursuit of the vigil. Examples: attacking, using a tactic. So, risking willpower benefits on a success. In addition to your success, you gain 1 beat and regain the willpower that you risked, plus another point of willpower up to your willpower maximum. Exceptional success. As success with the action's usual exceptional benefits, and then as the action's usual dramatic failures or failure, you gain 2 beats, and your risk willpower remains spent.
And if I'm right, any failure is dramatic, isn't it?
No, it's either failure or dramatic.
Oh, okay. So cool. Here we go. So on 13.
Oh.
2.
Wow.
Also,
that's a rare...
Hold on. Before we go on, additionally, when a player risks willpower, they may choose 2 of the following benefits to apply to the single roll. Gain a 3 die bonus, achieve exceptional success on 3 successes instead of 5, gain the 9 again quality, remove the 10 again quality from the opponent's roll, or gain a +1 to the attack damage roll.
Choose one of those, right?
2. Yeah.
Let's see. I will remove 10 again from anything that thing does.
And then, what's the other one?
I already spent.
You already put the 3 on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it does not get 10 again.
It's good.
Also means that, so from that as well, Gandhi has to lead the last one because we've already risked willpower. We can only do it once per scene.
Yes.
So both Bishop and I have done that already. I think it's.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, last one. Yeah, is you.
Last one, what do you mean? Sorry,
Call
my...
shot or capture.
Or
Last
capture,
tactic,
yeah.
you have to be the lead.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
That's what I thought he was saying, but my brain wasn't putting the dots together for a
Okay.
second.
Always.
So, as it has always been, defenders get the victory in a tie.
Yeah.
So, failure of a lure.
Wait, are we the defenders or is it the defender?
It's the defender.
Okay.
We're luring it.
I don't know what is wrong with the. It's this character. Roll20 hates.
It does nothing. It continues to follow, as if everything you're doing is working.
Ooh. Which we have no failed even. Okay.
Okay, well then we're gonna keep backing up until we get back to that main antechamber area. And
Good
then
pitch.
I presume we're gonna try to capture it, which is probably gonna be me tackling it with a rope.
I'm
And hoping the other two help me.
How far do you lead it into the room?
I presume enough so that the other two can kind of like, so that like it's theoretically it's following me in, and the other two are like, you know, moving around it to get the sides and behind it, block off the tunnel.
Pretty much.
So I don't know, like 10 feet, 10, 15 feet, at least minimum.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and give me your capture roll as you think you have it.
Do we do the support? Wits, athletic, and whatnot?
Yes, go do your support.
What are the checks here?
Wits, athletic, and strength and brawl.
I am go of those. I am going to. I'll take strength brawl. Oh, they're the same roll actually.
And
I'm going with the wits and athletics, so we got both of them covered. All right. You got 2 additional die. Frederick.
4 total. Only 2.
Yeah, +4.
so you're gonna
So I have to risk a willpower, yes. So that gives me what, 2 effects?
yes, 2 effects.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'll take a +3 and.
Except again.
Yeah, I'd like exceptional on 3. Maybe I have faith in my dice pool here.
Okay, so this is either dexterity plus survival or crafts. So this is probably dexterity survival.
Yeah, dex survival. Got a +7 total. Sure, dice, help me out here today.
Exceptional success. All right. So, ooh. Okay, well, I'm going to have it spring its trap that it got from your failure, which is essentially you find out very quickly that it was more of a show, the lights bothering it, as it lashes out directly at you, Frederick, as if it can see you perfectly fine. So, in other words, I'm giving it a +3 bonus here. And this
Fine. Blood is a resource to be spent.
So, actually, it makes sense for this thing to be doing strength plus brawl. This particular one. It does not get that, and then it's going to get a +3. One success. Which means, not only is the target immobilized, it cannot attempt to break free at all for the rest of this scene.
Nice. Cage.
So, how would you, the three of you, like to capture this thing? Give me the
Cage.
deets.
I would say push into the cage, close it, electrify the thing.
I think we've got to get him down first.
Yeah, we gotta get him down first. So presumably, tackle with the rope.
I'll go in go in from the side, and just
Catch him back.
hard, just basically full body slam into the back of its legs.
Boom.
It topples over and reaches out and grabs at Frederick's ankle, yanking him off of his feet.
I mean, with athletic mean, I'm basically just quickly pushing Frederick a little away, not for him to touch, and tackling him face down.
With Wit's athletics, you're attempting to guide it into the cage.
Yeah.
Frederick, you are down on the ground. It's still grabbing at you.
Yeah, well, it grabbing at me means I know where its hands are.
Mm-hmm.
I want to remove its ability to grab things freely. If that means tying its hands together, that's one step further. Or to tie one of its hands back. I just want to get rope around its limbs. I don't care if it's comfortable. I don't care what's wrapped around what. If that arm ends up wrapped underneath his leg, I don't care. We're going with essentially climbing rope to just pin as many limbs as we can before it bites me.
It's gnashing its teeth. It's trying to bite. It's swinging its now only one free hand. It's kicking out with one leg, trying to gain footing. As you guys continue to move it closer and closer to the cage before being able to slam the door shut. It howls within the cage. And you hear it thrashing within. But you can definitely tell this cage is designed to hold up to something as strong as it.
Cage has a lock.
A very, very massive padlock, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pointing that to Freddy. Do the others?
Yeah, it's getting locked, and then I'm stepping back to make sure my ankles aren't broken.
You're probably gonna have a bruise on your leg just from the tight grip, but you're fine. Not even something worthy of giving you bashing damage for.
Okay. Bones are still in their correct places. Alright, it didn't snap my leg when it grabbed me. Good to know.
Now we're gonna go to the top of the cave. Back to Sasha.
Alright, you had just asked me to make that roll, right?
Yes, the resolve composure, was it not?
In order to stand up, yeah.
Yeah. It's not necessarily... It is sort of a compulsion that you didn't want to stand up, but you understand... Sasha understands that it was from the cold feeling that came over her at the sound of the scream. It's more the dread of that scream that was causing that.
Okay. So do you want me to roll that then?
No, you already rolled it.
I did already roll it. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, you're good.
So Sasha is going to look to Sig, but she is going to pursue Kurt into the caverns.
Sig stands up and follows Sasha and goes, I mean, I guess it's better with all three of us, right?
It's good to find safety in numbers.
He nods in agreement.
So, do I see any clues as to, like, is this just a straightforward, the cavern just goes, or am I seeing clues that could help guide me to the rest of the cell?
Frederick, you were marking the trail, were you not?
Presumably. I mean, yeah, I would have marked everything. Obviously, we went down a lot of, dead ends, so, I mean, unless
probably,
they know how to follow the markings of, hey, dead end, go this way kind of deal.
I assume they were probably pretty understandable and X for, So
And dead flares along the way as well.
Yeah.
All sorts of. Yeah.
We could, leave things to mark the trail.
yeah, you do see a trail. And Kurt also sees this trail and is just following it.
Yep.
However, upon the first split, essentially, that's where Kurt kind of stops and you hear his voice low, as if he's trying to be quiet. You happen to know how they mark these trails? There's any kind of gestures at one of the symbols, and then gestures at the other way, having a different symbol.
Sasha's gonna step a little more forward and just call out, Frederick, Bishop, Bobby, can you hear me?
Wyverian?
No.
We are like, no.
This is in the past. We didn't hear her before. We can't now.
It's not too far in the past.
Well, yeah, but they haven't heard the additional screaming, so it's still.
Oh yeah, that's coming. That's
So
coming in the
we
next.
did not hear her.
Sasha looks at the radio, but not even gonna try that because if the radio's not getting through, it's not a matter of proximity. It's a matter of just being deep in the caves. I don't have the intelligence for this.
Presumably, as we were driving over, presumably I would have mentioned how we're gonna go about the cave, because I don't think we had decided who was going in yet. So,
Yeah.
presumably everybody gets basic briefing on how to navigate cave system.
What kind of a mark? What color? It's going pretty wild out there. Wow, this is what mark is mark.
Yeah. What I want to do is to give them the wrong way and then try and slip away from these people. All while putting up a pretense of I just messed up on that and then I just, wandered off. Sorry, my bad. Because I don't want these people to think that I think they're my enemy. Because I don't know.
Alright, so this feels like this is going to be a manipulation subterfuge.
Let's do that. Which is actually not a bad roll. Ooh.
Okay. So what exactly do you say to them?
I think it's this way. They told me about the markings, but I was not the one to go into the cave. I was supposed to just, have the s'mores and the hot dogs ready for when they got done playing around down here. But it should be this way.
Alright, well, here goes nothing. Sig. Get to a roll here. I needed to see what they had rolled in the past, because I've completely forgotten. Picture here. Okay, on a 4. Sig goes, glad you're here, because otherwise we would be lost in these caves too. As Kurt and himself begin to make down that the pathway you indicated. Sig, as he says that, kind of claps Sasha on the shoulder as if to say, oh, thank God.
Oh, crap. Alright.
And yeah, with the 3-dot variation, you suddenly do not remember the directions Frederick gave on how the symbols work.
My lies have come true. That's a hell of a power.
And Sig and his friend Kurt begin to make their way down the tunnel that you indicated.
So they are moving ahead of me?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna slip off down a random tunnel and go. Go, go, go.
Well, luckily this was just a split, so you only had 2 choices.
Okay. I'm going down the other tunnel. Just being as quiet as I can while I still think that they can see, and then just bolting.
Okay, give me... Are you actually going to bolt? Because you're in a cave. Footsteps echo.
I am not going to... I'm going to try and move as stealthily as I can, at least at first.
Okay, give me stealth dexterity then. This is important.
Stealth, dexterity, and I'm going to burn a willpower on that. Just to really just try and be as stealth... just go and get away from them. Whew! Glad I spent the willpower.
You're able to move down the cave a bit, but as soon as you get to the next fork, that's when you realize that entire discussion where Frederick was explaining the marks, it's just gone. And it's that very nagging feeling. You're like, there's no reason I should have forgotten this. And you know it's forgotten.
How many choices are there at this junction?
There's 3.
If only one of them is marked, I'm going to take that. If more than one is marked, I'm going to randomly pick between the marked ones.
Why don't you at this point give me wit survival?
All right. This is not going to be a fun roll for me.
As you get ready to go
Oh,
down,
wow.
as you get ready to go down one of the tunnels, you hear a second scream. And you immediately can tell that the scream's not coming from there. You can kind of Sasha kind of hears a sound coming from behind her and then again to her front, which would mean that the sound is then bouncing off of something further down in front of her, coming back as an echo.
Okay. Then I'm going to follow the sound of the screaming.
I am going to... 2 separate rolls. That's understandable. Understandable. Have a nice day. Completely understandable. Also completely understandable. Have a nice day. 0 successes. As you begin to make your way further down, you get to essentially what is a fat man's misery. It's a specific type of cave feature where it's an open crevice within the cave that's a pathway, but it's exceedingly thin. Hence the name. But you can hear footsteps behind you, echoing, and they're not super close, but they are close enough to be concerning. 2 sets of
All right,
them.
let's squeeze through this.
Also, as you begin to squeeze through, you also hear what sounds like a bit of shouting, metal scraping against metal, a loud sound as what sounds like a very large metal lock being engaged. And as you push through, you see the cell staring at a very large metal cage.
Oh, thank God.
And you
Did we notice her?
I would assume you're still staring at the thing bouncing off the walls inside of the cage, which Sasha would hear it too. There's definitely something in that cage bouncing around. The bars are very, very thick, and there's very little gap in between them, so it's hard to make out what's in there.
I'm planning to try something with this creature. It does look like it's reacting very badly to being captured. It followed us without attacking to a great degree. I'm trying to understand what was it trying to do. It just doesn't make any sense here. We are not going to keep you here. If you talk to us, we are after some children, a boy and a girl that went missing here. Can you understand anything? I'm just pointing to the height of children. Have you seen these children?
The only answer you get is another wrenching scream. Somewhat human and somewhat animalistic.
What have you guys found?
Sasha, this didn't go as planned. This wasn't a plan, as you know. This thing, we don't know where the children are. That's a fact. We bumbled upon this and this whole chamber. Somebody built this, obviously, to capture our friend here. It wasn't here. We led into it.
Okay, that's great, but there's other people. There's some really shady characters that they came on the campsite. There's a big one that doesn't talk that looks like a bruiser. There's a little one that talks too much. I don't know if they're the ones kidnapping the kids or if they set up the cage or something, but they're not our friends and they are coming this way.
Ooh. If I may just propose something, as we know they are coming here, maybe we can just find a way to lure them into an ambush. And just like we dealt with our friend here. And I
mean,
think
they haven't explicitly threatened me, but they are not our friends. Is there another way out of the caves?
let's not forget why we came here as well.
the kids, I mean, it really is. This is getting more and more complicated and convoluted. We still don't know what this has had to do with these two kids.
So maybe
I'm with you on that, Bobby. Any idea that you know you have?
Bobby is not here.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah.
Ears are still ringing. He can't hear you.
It's around us, but muted right now.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. I'm trying to. Do we.
Right. There might be another way out up that way. We still don't know what's all the way down that way where this thing was. If there are bodies down there, I still want to find them. If there are people, are they following you down the cave, Sasha?
They're following the screaming that I followed to you.
Okay, great. So we got about 30 seconds probably, right?
Before they come here.
Yeah. Look. Said they're not outwardly hostile, right?
They haven't been threatening to me yet.
Do you think there's connection between our friend here and our new friends, or like it can't be a coincidence? It's the middle of nowhere. Nobody would come here without an intent to do something. Let's just get that out of the way. So it's not like a random two dudes. There's some connection to this.
Of course.
I know that they've told me nothing, but I don't know that they've told me the truth.
Yeah. Okay.
So, our options are either we talk to him and confront him here, or we go out the way there might be another way out and bumble our way through an unmarked cave. I don't like that option, so I guess at least some of us are going to have to sit here and explain what's going on.
I mean, Freddy, I'm also worried about this. I mean, this thing is not going to be on the... We don't want somebody randomly to find and do something with it either, and we can't leave it to starve and die inside.
Yeah, well, let's fix the immediate problem of the people coming up, walking up to us, and then we can deal with that. Maybe they might know something, you know?
You know what I'm afraid of?
I'm afraid of them knowing something.
I'm afraid of them being Dad's friend.
Doors unlock all the time. You gotta understand it was coming after us.
Yeah.
To a
True,
degree.
true. We didn't harm it. That's it.
We didn't harm it. It didn't harm us.
True. All true. So
Yeah,
something we can't talk out of, it looks like. But I think the question is, do we prepare for if talks go the wrong way?
Eventually, you hear footsteps as behind you, Sasha. Sig makes his way through.
Not the big one, the small one, you mean, right?
Yes.
The Sig is the small one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there you are. I got worried when we got separated.
Yeah. I don't know why you rushed ahead, but it looks like everything's okay. Kind of looks over at the cage. What is in that?
Nothing to worry about, friend. We are professional. We are professionals here. Nothing to worry about. It's all handled as you see inside the cage, so we'll be taking care of it here.
Doesn't look like anything's taken care of. And kind of, he makes his way over to the cage. Doesn't touch it, just kind of looks at it. Makes no... He's standing at the side of the cage, not the front. Nowhere near the door or the lock. And he kind of just touches the cage. Poor thing.
Normal people wouldn't just come close to a cage with this thing screaming inside and go and touch it. Do I get the feeling that there's something odd about this individual?
I never claimed to be normal. I mean, I can't stand living in the city. Too many thoughts. Too many people. It's maddening. And as for this thing, I suppose this is why we were sent out here originally. To bring this thing back.
Back implies this thing was somehow associated with you, friend. No? We are still friends here, yeah?
It's the difference when you talk about associations. It's the difference between the association between a prototype and the finished model.
Is this conversation giving me enough of a little bit more information to try to figure out what we are up against one more time? Prototype finished. Like, there's a lot of information coming through almost.
He's speaking in a very... Give me intelligence plus empathy if you wanna dig further into that, actually.
I will. That's one of my specialties too, intelligence and empathy. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, I'm genuinely trying to understand.
He's speaking in a very cold, engineering / clinical manner. He's not giving emotion. He's just talking about the way things are. He's literally, by the way he just phrased it, he's talking about himself as well. So he's making the parallel that this thing is a prototype in comparison to him.
This is getting more and more. Look, I'm looking at the guys. Guys, I think our suspicion is fair. They are related.
I wouldn't go so far as to say related. He kind of says. And he sticks his hand in, and as soon as the creature touches him, the creature goes limp. Reverts back to a very human-looking individual, if emaciated and pale. He goes, and then he kind of says in somewhat of a calm, reassuring voice, "Quiet now. Go to sleep. Things will be all right."
I'm looking at Freddy, I'm looking at Sasha, I'm looking at this, and the Eddie. This is Okay.
Look, you go
So
where you can.
we went out looking for missing kids, and instead we found something that, no offense, looks like it eats children. And we still can't find the missing kids.
We haven't finished
What are we missing?
checking the tunnel. Probably got to pull the bodies out.
Look, you go what you go what you came for. Won't take it. We carry on. Go our separate ways.
And friend, maybe a trade is in order as we helped your associate, pointing towards the person. Maybe you can help us find the kids. Then there can be a, in Latin what we call quid pro quo.
Sig stands up and goes, I mean,
Missing kids after all.
you didn't really help me do anything.
Maybe
That
made
is,
it more convenient.
that is a bit of a stretch. Now, as for that thing eating kids, you don't have to worry about that. That's not what happened. It was the first one that found the kids. It's the reason why they stayed alive so long down here. Even dumb ferals, and he kind of kicks the cage. Understand child, understand baby, it seems.
So the kids are alive. You seem to know where they are too?
He pauses for a moment. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a little more to it than that.
They were evacuated by a group of individuals, not unlike yourselves.
And not return to their parents, their families, their homes.
So is it kidnapping?
I do not have answers for that. Creature doesn't know. So, I only... You know what? I'm gonna stop my sentence right there. Well, seems like you got everything under control here. My associate outside is not able to fit through that exceedingly tiny crevice. So, I'm gonna go back out to him. And you five lovely folk, have a great day. Kind of nods.
I'm not back with that. I'm looking at everybody to get a reaction if there is anything different going, Sasha especially.
Especially once Sig leaves, Sasha's gonna lean forward. So, did he just say that this monster or person or whatever like that knows that the kids were taken and that the kids are alive, but
Yeah.
don't know where they are? So all we know is that the kids are not in the caves, possibly, haven't been in the caves for some time, but this is all just one big dead end.
We don't know who they are, but he said folks like you. It could be whoever left that laptop or whatever the hell it is. I think there's at least several groups of people here, if I may go on a limb. Those who left the laptop and built this, and if you like this fellow, I'm pointing towards the other two. We got again in the middle of something we barely understand. I'm getting that feeling, just like these two vampire groups. We walked into something we don't understand, for guys here. We are in real disadvantage.
So it sounds like what we should do is grab the laptop, go to a computer repair shop or something like that, and say, hey, I forgot my password, but I found a little bit of cash. If you don't write down my customer account number, can you get me into the laptop? My laptop, of course. And then maybe that'll give us some clues as to who took the kids.
Yeah.
Because if someone found the kids and those kids are not now safe at home, they're being held somewhere for a reason.
It's a
And
kidnapping of sorts. Yeah.
Yeah, there's very good reasons to kidnap children. There's very few good reasons to kidnap children.
I was going to say, please correct that statement.
Yeah, to my life. I'm
I'm
exhausted.
hearing all this. I'm 100% with you, but if we leave this in a very low tone of voice, when you could, these are monsters potentially, and we just help them get a family reunion of sorts.
You're a monster potentially. I'm a monster potentially. Let's not lie to ourselves. We've killed people or monsters close enough to people to the point they think they're people.
We didn't hurt others. The difference between a supernatural and a monster is what they do with it. You know that. We are not like them. We don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't have any evidence that they have acted monstrously.
They did something to you, no? Against your will?
I mean, they felt like creepy guys, but to be fair, that's how a lot of guys feel.
I'm gonna go check out I'm gonna go back down the tunnel and where we found it. I'm gonna see if there's anything else down there. If not, I'm coming
I'll
back
join
and
you.
I'm leaving. Like, I'm gonna
so
do one more
are
sweep for evidence.
Are we leaving this thing in the cage and his friends to come back, or are we gonna do something about these obviously supernatural things? That's the question, folks. It's an important one. If we're not gonna do anything, let's decide and move out.
First, I think we should sweep the cave again. Just final little sweep, see if we can pick up any more evidence. If not,
Okay.
I say this thing's asleep. It didn't actually attack us. It seems innocent enough for now. We unlock the cage, we leave. Then we decide what to do about the other two. They might still be at the other end of the cave, outside anyways.
I heard some kind of screaming monster, and that's what you guys were dealing with. But what the situation is now is some unarmed, unconscious man in a cage. Bishop, if you really want to kill him, you really are going to have to step up your persuasion game.
Not kill him. Do we take him with us? Because we don't even know if this person wants to go back. Remember the way that they were talking about. They talk about it like an animal, like a prototype, an experiment. So we don't know the story behind it, folks. This has. I get the feeling that this is gonna come and bite us. It's not killing this person thing. Just leaving it with these two, I'm more worried about.
If it was afraid of them, it'll run once it wakes up.
Can I go ahead and get a wit survival roll from Frederick to go ahead and navigate the caves down and...
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we're leaving it, okay?
With 3 successes, okay. At the bottom, this particular tunnel leads to a dead end. What it leads to is a small little cave pool. Just a little bit of water. It seems to be connected to the rest of the water system that's down here. There's torn up blankets. Looks like maybe the pelt of an animal. Rather large animal, too. carcass. Looks like a bear head. It looks like the den of some prehistoric man, essentially. And there's even 2 small segments built up as if for 2 smaller individuals. Kind of in their own little corner.
Interesting.
I only see like animal remains though.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah.
Any human artifacts like shoe, somebody dropped something, backpack, whatever it is, like do we not see anything left behind by somebody's?
No.
Well, whatever he called it earlier, what, feral something, seems a little accurate. It's been living in the cave for a while. Doesn't look like it's hurt anyone. If
No.
it did, we would have heard about it already.
And we're not seeing the remains of human remains or anything, so maybe that guy's story does check out. We should check this. Is there any evidence of these other group coming in? Remember what they said is folks like you came and took them. Is there any evidence like footprints or something that some other...
You mean outside of all the stuff in the main antechamber that is very visible?
The bedroll
No,
was the
they
cave.
came in, that was up, like they came in with the boots and everything, like this is all mud, I would say. There's
No,
some water.
it's
I've seen
stone.
It's a cave, it's rock.
I see.
Yeah, it's a cave, it's
No
rock.
sandy. So we won't find any evidence of them coming in and passing through, that's what I'm hearing here.
No.
No.
We already have been told they took another group came in, brought the kids out. The kids were already here with this feral thing for a little while. We can see it here. It made 2 little beds in its den here for them.
Yeah.
Like, there's your proof, whatever. I feel no qualms about just unlocking that cage, letting the thing wake up, and going about whatever life it had here. We pull out and we try to track down anything based on that laptop and whatever other information we can gather.
If it makes a stand against the other 2 and doesn't want to go with them, folks, is it our business or it's not our business?
If it says I don't want to go with you 2, then that does raise questions.
It
Yeah.
doesn't speak. If the other 2 wanted to take it along, they would have actually told us to, scram, and they would have stayed here. They would have radioed in their little whatever they were going to take it. Like, he put it to sleep. He could have just dragged it out if he wanted to.
I think he's just looking for his bigger friend, as he mentioned.
It was a bit of a tight squeeze to get in.
Yeah. We can figure it out once this person is alive, as I think the research is gonna take a bit of time. Urgency has also died out. These kids are not gonna die in a cave or anything. Whoever took them on purpose.
So with that, can I get one final roll from Frederick to lead everybody out of the cave? With that roll.
Watch me fail it. Oh, okay.
We're gonna call this session here, as Frederick leads everybody out through the cave to the campsite. That's still there, nothing amiss.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Hunter the Vigil, Critical Measures, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, why must those who hunt monsters hunt themselves?